You know, it is considered torture to deny visitation to prisoners. It is against their human rights. Even the CDC website will tell you that you should not deny video or in real life visitation to prisoners. However, our January 6th defendants have been denied visitations for the entire time they've been there. Some of them reaching close to 650 days now. Some of these J6ers have had children born while they've been incarcerated and have not been able to see their newborns. If you think about that, the January 6 inmates are not the only victims here. Their children have not been able to see their parents. Not to mention the fact that some children have just been flat out taken away from parents because both mom and dad are thrown in prison. Why? Because they used their First Amendment right to freedom of speech. Nonviolence, no past criminal history, good, wholesome Americans. Lives destroyed, homes taken away, children stripped from their hands to be both thrown into prison for peaceful, actual peaceful protest. Some of them didn't even protest. They just were there. But yet they're denied visitations. And all kinds of excuses are given. Oh, because of the Rona. But according to the Brandon administration, the pandemic is over. But yet Mayor Bowser, is it just me or does she look like she belongs in Gotham City? But anyway, Mayor Bowser still has extremely strict mandates for the Rona. You got to be a super vaxxed maskatron, my booster, just to be able to do anything in town, anything there. And that's why they're denied visitation, because they don't have the jab, or, their family members don't have the jab, or the mask issues, which is weird, because that's also the reason they deny video calls, video visitation with their family. Because apparently the Wuhan flu, the Wuhan wheeze, the Kung flu, the China cough spreads over the airwaves. Which actually is probably the most accurate, because it's the media that pushes this crap. They call it TV programming for a reason, folks. But yet they can use it as an excuse to torture American citizens without trial, without due process, without evidence. The list is long and it never ends, because we are their political opposition. They use every tactic that they possibly can, which is weird because some of them are actually banned by the Geneva Convention to be used in war. It's considered as inhumane, but they can do it to American citizens without trial, without due process, without conviction. But hey, I guess folks don't care. They can just sit back and play Farmville on the fake book, so it don't matter, until they decide to take away your finances because you don't agree with the political narrative. Oh, that's not possible. Look at Kanye West. They shut down his bank because he spoke up and said, I disagree with the political narrative. Yoink. A bajillionaire now seized all of his assets, taking banks, shutting them down. I'm sure he got his money out, but the fact that the bank won't allow him to bank, thought crime. The internet went crazy when PayPal said, we're going to deduct $2,500 from your account for spreading misinformation. They recanted that pretty quick, though. The simple fact that they thought they could. You know, China has a social credit score. Digital currency, which is programmable, by the way, for anybody that understands crypto with the blockchain and, you know, distributive ledgers, etc. They can program it so that they can push a button and shut you off. You can only buy so many items. You're not allowed to have a hamburger today. You had one last week. Your carbon footprint is too big. You must eat the bugs. Get the shots. I still laugh at the fact that folks are like, it can't happen here. This is America. It's happening. Happening right now. People too busy just being distracted to see it. The walls are crumbling down around you, and you're sitting in a flaming room going, oh, everything's fine. Wake up, folks. When an administration sees that it is okay to torture people that are supposed to be considered innocent until proven guilty, they don't have the ability to prove their innocence because they have been denied trial. Anybody remember the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, pushed by the Obamas? Anybody remember that? When a bunch of conspiracy theorists online said that it was to help detain American citizens indefinitely without trial. That could never happen here. We have a constitution. This is America. Guess why they are able to throw American citizens into prison indefinitely without trial? Some folks have been screaming warnings from the rooftops since 2012. Now you see it. You won't see it if you watch mainstream media, though. They're silent about it until the Jan 6 sham committee comes out and puts these false narratives of how violent and extremists and they're terrorists. We're all bad people. And that's like front page news for a minute, just long enough to distract you. You ever notice that the sham committee only put out their meetings when the inflation data came out? Does anybody get to hear the Federal Reserve CPI report? Or how about the PPI report, which will actually dictate what is coming, not the CPI, which says what has already happened? Does anybody here understand that the Chinese economy is crumbling, especially in the housing market? Chinese real estate, the basis of the economy there. How many other countries are tied to it intimately, including our own? Rocky times ahead, folks. Better go out on the day to vote, election day, not early, not by mail. Goodness gracious, not by mail. And make it happen. Your job legally has to allow you to go vote. So get off your butt, go get registered, and on election day, go to the polling stations in your district, wherever you're registered at, and vote, vote, vote. And I'll be honest, I don't even care who you vote for. Make sure it's an educated decision. Pull your head out of fake book and start looking at actual people that can help fix this country. Otherwise, you're just going to keep perpetuating the problem. Stand up with our J6ers. They were the first of many. There's people on the front lines, and they were there on the front lines that day on January 6th to speak up for the elections, to speak up for the constitutional values and American values and the constitutional process and American values. That's what I meant to say. I'm so flustered over this. But they took this out, right? And then they scared everybody. Better not speak up or the feds will come knocking on your door. They'll hit you with flashbangs and point guns at your unarmed children at 5 in the morning as they stand in the freezing cold in their pajamas. And they'll justify it all under domestic terrorism. Arrgh. It's a bunch of bull mess, if you ask me. It's not funny. Not one bit. I got a text message, apparently. But that don't matter. Because I'm not going to let anything distract me from the fact that my brothers and sisters are sitting in prison illegally, being tortured. So sing the national anthem and sing it loud, sing it proud, folks, and bring awareness. Get them out here. Get them eyes on it. Get our brothers and sisters out of lockup. Get the Brandon administration out of the way so we can go back to running our country the way it should be. Make America great again. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Denied visitation. Think about that. They denied you the ability to go see grandma because of the Wu flu, but they're still doing it to prisoners, which is illegal, wrong, incomprehensible. Sing for freedom. Do something to help.